Well, hello folks, and welcome to another video here on my YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm ready, kitted out to go. It is the 23rd of June today, so the summer solstice was the longest day. It was a couple of days ago, but this is my first time to get out there. So it's 20:05 this morning, 25, ready to go. As you see, it's already bright, don't need the lights on. Yeah, and I got up 3:30, so I wasn't going to get up any earlier for a dusk ride, so yeah. So I'm just about to get out there. I've got to ride 507 kilometres in the next 24 hours. So that's my goal, to try and finish the distance in 24 hours. But last year I managed 495, so that's the sort of target I'm hoping to surpass this year. So without further ado, I'm going to get moving. See you up the road. So as I looked down on my handlebars, the time was 4:44 AM. So I knew I had 24 hours to ride 507 kilometres. As you can see, it's a glorious start to the day. It's a long time since I've seen this sort of time in the morning. Thanks to the lockdown, my routine of getting up early hours of the morning has gone out the window, so this was quite unusual to see this time of morning. You get to see all sorts of things. So it's just coming up to 5 AM as I head down Idle Bank towards Nottinghamshire. It is going to be pretty much headwind all the way down to the Lincolnshire fens before turning around again. Possibly 12 to 14 hours from now. So here I am riding down Tyndale Road, pretty close to the Haxgate Pub and Restaurant and the North Nottinghamshire border as I begin to head south. And unbeknownst to me, my first puncture of the day was just up the road. At 63 kilometres I was passing through Sutton-on-Trent. Now if you know the YouTuber Triathlon Dan, you'll know that's where he lives. So I actually messaged him a couple miles prior to arriving at his house saying, I'm on my way, do you got any water? Anyway, I think he was still in bed or something like that. Turns out there was an outdoor tap, so I could have just filled up without disturbing him. But I did stop a little bit up the road though, as you can see here, for some drinks and some food as well. And if you might be able to see in the back pocket, that's rather square, there's a Monster Energy drink tucked in there as well for a little bit later on in the ride. So I've just passed 95 kilometres heading into the county of Leicestershire. So I'm just about to go into Bottisford and negotiate my way around the castle before heading south east into the Lincolnshire fens. I think I go through Peterborough. I can't remember. I've just reached the highest point of this ride, so we're going downhill very soon, and it'll be flat until overnight, really, when I come back through Lincolnshire above Scunthorpe. Got a bit of a cross tailwind going at the moment, which is nice after suffering a headwind up to this point. I've just passed the point on the map on Catesbridge. Wasn't a lot there apart from a shell garage, which has some toilets open, so it's feeling a bit lighter now. I'm not sure how far I've got to go in terms of kilometres to the turning point, but on the map it's somewhere south of Wisbech. A little village called March. But in terms of kilometres, I have no idea how far away that is. All I know is I've had enough of the winds now. Having said that, I'm on pace. Average speed is currently 24.6 kilometres an hour, which means I'm 0.1 above the target. Time wise spent off the bike is probably about the same as this up to this point as last year. So there's a particular bit coming up next, which I remember planning into my route. It was just south of Bourne, at just pretty close to Market Deeping. It was a long stretch of straight road, and I thought to myself as I was planning it, this is going to be really hard work because of the wind. It's going to be out. It's going to be pancake flat, and probably classed as in the fens. When I actually got there, it was really pleasant. Actually, it was lined by trees either side. And it was a nice, quiet stretch of road. I'm going to have to do that bit of section of road again because I don't underestimate it. It was really, really nice. It was not windy at all. And by the bottom of that road, I was pretty close to Peterborough, and I had to negotiate my way through the city centre. Luckily, my route paid off. I did one U-turn in the middle of a dual carriageway. Well, not in the middle. Obviously, I went to the next roundabout and turned around again. I had to join a bit of a cycleway to get underneath the dual carriageway a little bit further on, to join and continue the route as it made its way past the Greyhound Stadium towards Whittlesea. That was a lovely section to ride because it meant I was off the road for half an hour. It was brilliant, just to mix it up a little bit. So not much further away from Whittlesea was the little village of Doddington, where I stopped next. By this point I'd entered the county of Cambridgeshire, so I dropped into there, just nipped into a newsagent and got another drink and some more food before leaving. Well, I say most of these breaks during this ride were like 10 minutes. Just on the long straight to March. Last time I was here I was riding with Chris Scalhorn in October, I think it was. We were trying to do the Yorkshire to Essex 600 kilometre Kodax, and at this point it was quite dangerous riding because there was a storm passing through and there was severe gales going along here, and we was getting buffered rather, all over the road. It was a nightmare, quite scary. So we've got to do that ride again at some point, Chris. Pick a better day for it. Yay, heading north. Oh yeah. God, I'm crossing into Norfolk.
But surprised to me, I entered the county of Norfolk. I didn't realise I was entering Norfolk during this ride, but I did. And there was a couple of T-junctions along the route where the tarmac was beginning to melt, and it was quite squelchy on the front wheel. I was like, oh, it was all slushy and everything. So for about a quarter mile up the road, all I could hear was this slushing going around the tyres. It was not a pleasant sound. So it was at this point I started exchanging messages with a viewer on YouTube, Simon Fawcett. Thank you very much. It was enormous help. We met up in a little place called Gedney, just north of Wisbech. I say we met not too much further up the road, but it was actually quite a bit looking at the map. It was just north of Long Sutton, a little village called Gedney. I believed Simon lived in Saracen's Head. So... well, we cycled all actually enjoying me for a good distance actually, about 25k, something like that, as I went along the A17, which was not very pleasant at all. And it was great to have somebody riding with me to tick those miles off. So we passed over went along the A17 to through over the Fosdyke Bridge, and eventually into some quiet sections of the Lincolnshire fens, through to Curtin, Wyberton. And this is where we parted ways as I went through Boston to join the Lincoln Waterway. Finally off the road onto somewhere a little bit more pleasant, and I didn't quite make it to Landwick Bridge. I was still on the Lincoln Waterway when I got my second puncture of the day. Oh no, this time though it was the other wheel, the rear wheel this time. within 10 minutes I'd got that changed and I was on my way again. So as I'm sure you can appreciate, I didn't go to the effort of getting my GoPro out and recording any of the changing of a tube. It was the first thing from my mind. I just wanted to get back on the bike and get moving again. Of course, it's always changing the puncture's never pleasant, but on a day like this, you don't mind so much. I was actually going to take a break anyway, so 10 minutes would have been just relaxing. Instead, 10 minutes changing the tube. I left the Lincoln Waterway, heading north over the Landwick Bridge. I joined one of perhaps the most boring sections of road in the entire ride. It started in Stickney, went down Medville Road, which in itself turned into Fodderdyke Bank. I'll just show you up on the screen here. It's quite straight and full of potholes from beginning to end. And this road, it doesn't look very long on the screen there, but I'm zoomed out quite far. It's so straight, it's boring as hell, headwind all the way along. And by the time I reached Wainfleet on the far right of the screen, I was tired. So I stopped in the co-op there for another break, had a sandwich, a steak bake, grill, and yeah, even more to drink. So once I'd finally left Wainfleet, I was starting to feel a little bit down by this point and questioning whether I was going to finish it because I was starting to feel pretty cold inside. It turns out my jersey was quite sweaty and sticky from the day, but I slogged on anyway. And by the time I got to the top of this slide near the village of Alford, by this point well back into Lincolnshire, I was actually feeling quite good because it was a lovely tailwind all the way along there and I was actually making real progress. So as I left Alford, it slowly drew darker and darker till eventually the sun went down and I was still feeling pretty cold inside. I didn't bring a spare jersey with me, so by the time I had reached a little village called Holtney Clay outside Grimsby, I stopped to put on my rain jacket and I was hoping that would perhaps make me feel a bit warmer. It did on the outside, but in my core, my sweaty, sticky jersey was it was unbearable, to be honest. In hindsight, what I could have done at this point was perhaps take the jersey off entirely, put my base layer on, put the jersey in the bag somewhere, but I would have also had the problem with what to do with the things in the pockets. So even now, I still don't know what I would have done differently to what I'm going to tell you now. I did. So I didn't do any of that. What I did, just down the road was my mum's and dad's house. So I messaged my mum on Facebook and said, "Are you awake?" And 10 minutes down the road, well, 10 miles down the road rather, I was arriving at my mum's and dad's house and the ride was over. So after my long preparation video, perhaps I should have packed a spare jersey as well, but I wasn't expecting it to be so hot and for that to happen. That is perhaps the first time that has ever happened to me, getting cold just like that and not being able to recover. It was pretty grim. So there is the complete route to the summer solstice 2020 from Crowell to Humberston over in the northeast of Lincolnshire. It was a fantastic day. It didn't quite end how I'd hoped and planned it to, but still a fantastic distance. So 412 kilometres in, well, not 24 hours. It was about 19 and a half. I'll show the exact number on the screen of elapsed time. Well, hello folks, as you can see I'm in front of the camera now. It's actually the following day, it's just coming up to midday actually, and so I'm on my way back home now and it's another hot sweltering day. As you might be able to see, I've got sweat pouring off my eyebrows. So it's about a 70k back, possibly with a stop at Clayton's Corner. Heading into the village of Cadney, having left Clayton's Corner. Had a nice bacon butty, Victoria sponge cake, coffee. Hit the spot at the right time. Shame I'm not on my gravel bike today. I could have taken a bit of a shortcut and gone straight up. Instead I'm having to go through Brick Town Centre. So as the morning / early afternoon went on, it was really hot, much hotter than the previous day. I'm glad this wasn't the day I was doing the full distance of the summer solstice, because it was unbearable. I stopped quite a few times after Howsham. I stopped at a bench to put my feet up. I'll show you the picture here, and you see behind my head was the picture of a saurine malt loaf, just to keep my head comfortable, my neck. That was at the village of Scorby, not too far from home, but because I was so tired, that short distance it just seems so much further than it actually is. I feel like, you know, when you first start biking, you go cycle too far, you're absolutely shattered, you don't want to do it again, swear you're never going to do it again. I feel a little bit like that right now. So all in all, a fantastic couple of days of riding. Really pleased with myself. Despite obviously splitting it into two, I had a fantastic time. I knew in my heart that I would have beaten last year's distance if I wasn't so cold and I kept going. So that, to me, that's all that matters. It was having a good time and knowing you've done a good job. Whew. I say I'm back home. Absolutely knackered. Oh, I think under the definition of knackered in the dictionary, you find a picture of me there. Absolutely knackered. That's it, boiling as well. I'm glad to be back, and I need to have my gears indexed as well. I was struggling a bit, skipping gears and whatnot. So I just saw that out before my next ride. But that won't be for at least a couple more days. Relax, a couple more days. I'm not going to do anything at all. Just feet up, chill. Whew. Well, as always, like I always say, hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and you know, if you like it that much, give it the thumbs up. Any questions? Put them below and I'll look forward to answering those. Oh, and before I go, I'll leave you one final tip. These make fantastic pillows. Look at that. Definitely squidgy.